back to my channel. If this is your first time seeing my face or hearing of my channel, I would really appreciate it if you commented, or subscribed, or stayed until the end of this video. I promise you it will be worth it. Today I'm going to be doing the reader's habit tag. I will try to link the original video down below if I could find it, but basically this tag consists of a few questions to get to know your habits as a reader. If you have any weird habits that you do as a reader, please feel free to tell me down below. The first question is, do you have a certain place for reading? And honestly, I kind of just read mostly in my bed. The longer I read in my bed, the more tired I get, but I don't really read in too many other places. Sometimes I'll be in the living room, sometimes I'll be in the sunroom when it's really nice outside, but most of the time I am reading in my bed. The second question is a bookmark or a piece of paper. So personally, I am a bookmark fanatic. Right here I have a mug of all of my bookmarks. And I use a bookmark every single time I read a book. I have never used a piece of paper, and I don't think I will ever use a piece of paper. Bookmarks are just so pretty and they serve such an important purpose, so I don't see a reason in not using one. The third question is, can you just stop reading, or do you stop after a chapter? And most of the time, like 95% of the time, I always finish a chapter before I stop reading a book. There are some times when I'm in a rush and I'm kind of reading quickly before I have to go and do something. I'll kind of stop in the middle of a paragraph or in the middle of a sentence. It's a bad habit and I really don't want to continue to do it, so I try my best to stop at the end of a chapter. The fourth question is, do you eat or drink while reading? And I absolutely do both of those things. I normally drink water, and a lot of the times I will have just a small snack, my go-to. The fifth question is music or TV while reading. Normally, I am the type of person where I have to have complete silence. If it's a sound that I can't control, like maybe the humming of a refrigerator or a fan or an AC, then it's something that I can kind of fade into the background. I don't process it. If it's like TV noises, like of a show, I have to either turn off the TV or mute the sound, because I absolutely just cannot have really loud noises while I'm reading. It is so hard for me to concentrate. The sixth question is one book at a time or several at a time. Now, I think I mentioned this in an earlier video of mine, but I said that I'm normally reading 2 to 3 books at a time, but the way I read is completely different. So I will read a physical book, listen to an audiobook, and read an ebook. I'm not reading several physical books at one time or listening to several audiobooks at one time. Most of the time I'm reading about 2 to 3 books, but it does vary. Number 7 is read at home or anywhere. I could read anywhere. I've read like out in public before, like on my phone, like an ebook, and I read at home. I just prefer to read at home because it's like a more comfortable and private setting. I could read whatever I want and not feel judged. I'm not really reading out, but I have read out in public before. Number 8 is reading out loud or silently in your head. So I definitely read silently. I don't read out loud. I'm reading in my head all the time, just by myself, so that way I don't disturb anybody else around me. Question number 9 is, do you skip ahead or read ahead? I always skip pages right towards the end because I get so excited about the ending. Like, I just want to know exactly what's happening, so I'm always like reading, you know, a few paragraphs ahead or a couple of pages ahead, and it's a really bad habit because I want to savor those last few pages, but I can't help myself, especially if it's a book that I'm like seriously enjoying. I remember that I did it with Eliza and Her Monsters. I skipped like the last couple of pages, and I ended up having to go back and read them because I was just so excited for the ending. Question number 10 is breaking the spine or keeping it as nice as possible. So I am somebody who takes a lot of care of my books. I really appreciate when I have my books very clean and pretty, but most of the time I keep my books in absolutely pristine condition. This is why I have a really hard time lending books to people, because they don't understand like how nice and well kept my books are, and I really do pride myself on keeping them as nice as possible. So I will lend them out and I'll get them back and they will look just absolutely atrocious. I have a copy of Me Before You that I lent to a friend, and when I got it back, it was just dog-eared and it was ripped and like the spine was almost broken. It's a really awful condition. The last question is, do you write in your books? And I do not write in my books personally. I normally, if I want to take notes, I use like a sticky note or I will tab pages with the little sticky tabs. You guys know what I'm talking about, little sticky tabs. I will only write in my books unless it is for school. So like some of these textbooks here, I bought these and I will write in them. The only book in my collection that I have written extensively in is The Weary Blues, because I was using this for a paper for school. It's really good. I recommend it if you have not read it. But I will show you a page that I annotated that is kind of like full of just colors and stuff. So this is one of the pages. This particular poem is The Negro Speaks of Rivers. I was using this book for a English paper that I was writing about Langston Hughes and his poetry in this specific book. Each color represents a different element that he uses in his writing, whether it be a symbol or a motif or themes, anything like that. So this is the only book that I have, that I know of, that I've written in extensively. That is all the questions I have today. I hope you guys can relate in some way to my reading habits. I would really appreciate if you told me what your reading habits are, if you have any that are different from mine. And I would just really appreciate if you also liked, commented, and subscribed, because that really helps me out. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate all of the support. Have a great day or night wherever you are. Mwah. Bye!